Ronald Koeman was a better manager for Barcelona than Xavi was. Now, let me tell you why. Xavi has been under no fire, absolutely no fire, no criticism from the Barca fans, not like Ronald Koeman got. And Ronald Koeman is a legend of Barca, but recency bias. Xavi has been more of a recent legend. And all the fans right now that were screaming for Xavi when Ronald Koeman was struggling right after Messi left, expecting him from having Messi at the club at Barca for more than 20 years, being the main man for many of those years, leave, right, to PSG. And then the Barca fans expected him to continue having Barcelona as one of the big teams, not struggle at all after he leaves, is absolute blasphemy. And he ended up struggling early on and getting sacked. Not his fault. You look at Real Madrid, a rival to Barca. Ronaldo leaves. Real Madrid were struggling. They got danced on by Ajax in the Champions League. They didn't, do very well. And it took time, and now they're back because they rebuilt. They got Vinicius Jr., filling in the shoes. Benzema having a Ballon d'Oro season. They got guys like Rodrigo, Valverde, and it took time to rebuild after Ronaldo because you need time to adapt after a superstar like that leaves. And then Real Madrid didn't do that overnight, but they expected Ronald Koeman to do that. Gets the sack. Xavi comes in. And what does Xavi do? Well, Xavi ends up getting a lot of new signings. In January, you get Ferran Torres and Amatoré. You got Aubameyang. You got a lot of other, you got signings in. And then, guess what happens? That Barca team ends up in Europa League. Benfica takes their spot. Something that Ronald Koeman did was actually get to the knockout stages of the Champions League, all right? So, Xavi ends up getting Europa League. People don't really blame him. I don't blame him either. You come in, midway, and you don't get out. Benfica ends up taking your spot. You get dominated by Bayern. Same thing happened with Koeman. Nothing different, except you didn't get to knockout stages like Koeman, but getting dominated by Bayern happened either way. Benfica, inexcusable, but you just got to the job. Then the following season comes. You get a ton of new signings, from Messi leaving, right? You know what happens? This man gets Robert Lewandowski, who, should have won a Ballon d'Oro, but, they didn't have that ceremony in 2020, so it is what it is. World-class striker, arguably the best number 9 in the world when he was signed. Not only that, gets center backs Conde, Eric Garcia, whole bunch of guys. Midfield, Kessie. The list goes on and on for the signings, Rafinha from Leeds. And you're thinking Barca's gonna have a real shot at winning it all. You look at the percentages of they said likely to win the Champions League this year. If you looked at it, they didn't have Madrid there on the top 5, but Barca was right there in 5th, ranked 5th. And remember when Xavi had them last season and they were saying Barcelona was a top 5 team in the world, but they were in Europa League right before they got eliminated by Frankfurt, which was inexcusable. I almost forgot that. Jeez. Losing to Frankfurt in the Europa League was inexcusable, and I have no idea how he got no backlash from that. Everyone was just saying, oh, there was too many Frankfurt fans. That's what I heard. That was the biggest thing I heard from Barca fans. Too many Frankfurt fans. There was no home field advantage. Jesus Christ, mate. Your team is way more expensive than Frankfurt's. But anyways, that happens. Following year, ton of signings. Xavi comes in. Boom. You're not top of the league currently. You just got sent to Europa League. Again. Inter and Bayern get 1st and 2nd. Barcelona struggled and don't get a win off any of those teams. You know what the best result was? A draw. 3-3 to Inter at home. That was your best result against 2 good teams. Inexcusable. And right now, Xavi should be getting some flack. I'm telling you right now, if I was a Barca fan, I would be asking for change. Because Xavi has came in with a ton of help. Robert Lewandowski, one of the best in the world. Rafinha, he's getting called up to the Brazil team for the World Cup most likely. You have Pedri and Gavi. Gavi, didn't he just win the Best Young Player Award? You've got Pedri, who won you have 2 guys who won the Young Player Award. Then you have Frank de Jong, who was getting called by United, and it was going to be a fee of around 100 million, close to that. You have not only that, Dembele, who's good, and he has 100 million fee on him. Center backs, Conde was a break of a lot of money. Now, fullbacks, you bring in Marcos Alonso, Champions League winner. You got a youngster in Balde who's good. And then, right back, you have solid options. All that, the only thing I could say is Araujo was injured. Araujo's really good. I'm not going to lie. He's pretty good, but he was injured. And then goalkeeper, you have Ter Stegen. This is a good team. This is a class team. You got Christensen as well. And you can't beat Inter. Inter doesn't really buy like that. Inter really doesn't. What was the biggest thing they did? Brought back Lukaku, who didn't play at all against you? Nice. That's what you brought back. It's unbelievable that Ronald Koeman, who won a Spanish Super Cup, I don't really think it's significant, to be honest, because to get to the Spanish Super Cup, he didn't do anything for it. But anyways, people will say, oh yeah, he did all this, got to the knockout stage, he had Messi, but, currently right now, Lewandowski's better than Messi. Now you say otherwise, come on. But he didn't get out, and in my opinion, what Koeman did in his little time, he succeeded more than Xavi, because Xavi hasn't won nothing, absolutely nothing. Over here, Koeman won a cup, and he got to the knockout stage of the Champions League. My opinion, Koeman was disrespected, because he's the one that handled Messi leaving. Xavi came in after all the drama was gone, brought the team together, got a 4-0 win against Real Madrid without Benzema, I won't lie. And if it weren't for that result, I don't know how he wouldn't be sacked. And I'm not sure if he would have lost that match, would he be getting, or if he drew the match, would he be getting the sacked right now? Because I believe he is riding off that 4-0 win. He really is. His Barca time will be because of two things. It will be long because his career as a player and winning 4-0 against Madrid. That is why Xavi will last. And he's going to be given the whole year. And maybe they're going to think, maybe if he wins the league, which I don't think he will win the league. I think Real Madrid's got it in the bag. Maybe if they win the Copa del Rey, maybe you could win that. But really, is that what Barca's come to? From the 2011 team that's arguably one of the best teams of all time with Pep Guardiola, and now you have one of those players, a key player in Xavi, end up managing the team, and you can't even get out of the Champions League group stage. How the mighty have fallen. Yeah, because that is absolutely a disgrace. And I'm telling you, I'm not the biggest guy for Barca. I don't like Barcelona, but I do want to see them at least make the knockout stages because you spend a lot of money, and I don't believe Xavi's the guy. If I'm Laporta, I sack Xavi right now, and I bring in Thomas Tuchel. That's it. Thomas Tuchel has proven that he can get in first year in, won Chelsea Champions League. First year in. Yeah, Chelsea struggled this year, but that was due to differences with the owner. That was really it. Tuchel had differences with the owner, and the second Chelsea struggled too much, boom, he was sacked. He was always going to get sacked because the owner wanted it to be his guy to succeed. He got Graham Potter. He didn't want Tuchel because that's not his guy. That's the previous owner's guy, and Abramovich, and he said, that's Abramovich's guy. I want my guy, and I want him to succeed. Graham Potter, get whatever you want. I got you. And then he looks at Tuchel. Sorry, you have to go. And Thomas Tuchel's there. I would go out there and get him. Pochettino's there. I'd go out and get him. You know, those are two managers that have succeeded and shown a lot more than Xavi has ever done in his career. And I know it's very early on in his career, and probably they're going to see what he can do maybe next year, or I think they're going to give him maybe 2 years. But personally, you have two world-class managers just sitting there, unemployed. Look how Real Madrid got their Champions League. They had Zinedine Zidane, right? He couldn't get the job done without, Ronaldo and Bale and Benzema together as the front three. And, he was getting humiliated. He ended up winning a league or so, but he ends up leaving, respectfully. Himself, he wanted the French job, and he's going to be getting that after the World Cup. And he got what he wants. Real Madrid got what they want. They bring in serial winner Carlo Ancelotti, one of the best managers we've seen. wins it everywhere, the Champions League. They win it. Now it's time for them to let go of a legend like Real Madrid did and bring in a serial winner like Thomas Tuchel. Or if you want Pochettino, if you want the Argentinian. Why not? If you want to bring back Messi, I'm sure they have some sort of relationship. But I wouldn't personally bring back Messi because you are in a rebuilding stage. And imagine if Real Madrid, the year after they got dominated by Ajax, bring in Ronaldo, wouldn't have worked. But anyways, leave a comment down below if you think Xavi is the man for the job at Barcelona. And anyways, please leave a like and subscribe. And I'm not trying to hate, by the way. I'm just saying if Barca want to continue and succeed in the future, Xavi is not the guy. He's too inexperienced. He got him too early. Get Thomas Tuchel. Anyways, thank you guys for watching.